Hello, it's John Jentz. I'm CEO of Latitude Uranium, traded on the CSE under LUR, the symbol, and happy to present to you talk to you about our results for phase 2 of our recent drilling at Angilak. That completes our budget for the year. We put out another 3 holes, 15 holes in phase 1, 3 holes in phase 2, 18 holes for the total season. The camp's now shut down. Although winter in most jurisdictions is not coming in yet, it's starting to get a little colder up there. So our program is shut down for this year. And so we released the 3 holes yesterday. Phase 1 was released on August 30th. And so 18 holes total. It's a great, the star of the show on phase 2 was hole, there's 16, 17, 18 were the holes. It was hole 18. What it really, it did 2 major things that are going to have to be followed up for next year, which we're very excited about. One is it was an extension of an existing hole called LCM15 from 2012, and this hole only went down to 300 meters. Most of the resource, as you recall, only went down to about 320, 330 meters, which is just the result. So we went a little deeper than that. We went down to about 420 meters with this drill hole, and what it did is it had a 200-meter interval of intermittent mineralization in the previous hole in 2012, but that ranged from about 100 meters to 300 meters. We found the same, about continuity, but the same interval on a 100-meter step out from 200 to 400 meters now. So we're going to have to track that and see what that means. But within that zone also, below the 300-meter mark, we found 2 big zones, one of 41 meters and one of 21 meters. Started about 324, and it went down to 417 meters, these 2 big zones of intermittent mineralization. The counts per second in here, we're up to 6,200. We'll see what that means when the assays come back. The assays are, we got the news today that the assays are in the lab actually, so they're processing. We're saying November. We're hopeful it's more October, but we're promising November for people. That'll be assays for all 18 holes. And so the magic question everybody wants to know is what, counts per second and background, multiples of background of 700. What's it all mean in terms of assays? We'll have that news again, hopefully, definitely by November, hopefully by October sometime. And we'll be able to see what
it's all go, John. And it's fantastic. Finish the end of the year, but can I just remind people what it is you set out to do with these 15 plus 3 holes? What were you trying to work out? Because there's a lot of historical data. So how are you coming at this?
We're trying to increase the resource.
Right.
That's our message.
Simple as that. Yeah. But were you expecting to see anything, down there, just 300 to 400 and 20 meters or whatever it was, 417 meters, I think.
It's never been tested, so it's like we were hopeful. But I mean, if you look at Kigavik, which is north of us, it extends down to 700 or 800 meters. Doesn't mean we're going to extend down to 700 meters, but it did, when things are extending and they're going down, it doesn't mean because the drill hole stops that the mineralization stops, right? So
right. Okay, so you got some clues for next season as to what you're probably going to do. Well, you're going to go through the process of, I guess, sitting down with the boys and girls and working out how you come at it. With regards to the capital spent here, is that going to be indicative of what you're going to be spending next year, and how do we finance that
2024 budget? Basically, we want to do a larger program. Our shareholders are encouraged by the results. They say they want to support that program. Are we going to raise money before the assays are out? I don't think so. Not because we can't or people don't want it to. It's just that people want to see the assays. They want to be able to gauge the counts per second and what it means, and not get a big negative surprise, which I don't think it will be. But people want to see. That's fine, because it's our first. Got to remember, it's our first. We changed our scintillometer. Not that it matters that the old guys were using a different one, or it's not good or bad. It's just you can't interpolate the results of counts per second from Valor to our counts per second because it's a different gun, so it doesn't translate like that. So I think people want to see that.
Okay. Well, look, you're up 50% in 6 weeks. The uranium market seems to be getting a lot of love and attention. The ask price was up over $71 this morning. That bodes well for the sector as a whole. But from what I'm hearing from you, you're probably not going to try and take advantage of that yet, because you think it's got a ways to run?
Well, I mean, I think it's within the 5 to 10 year cycle that's going to happen. It's got a little bit to run. Sure, of course it does. on the back of WNA and some disruptions in Niger and global political events, of course, I mean, the uranium price is probably on a trajectory upwards. When, how, who, everyone can speculate, but reality is we're focused on what's going on the ground, which is, we need to get all the assays are in for all 18 holes now. So we need to get those back. I think investors just want to see and touch and be able to reconcile and go, okay, 1,000 counts per second roughly translate into, whatever the percentage of uranium it is, so they can get a sense of what it all means. And really, our program for next year, for 2024, we would love, 10,000, we did about 5,500 meters this year. We'd love to approximately double that if we could, or more. I mean, we've got enough targets to do that. It's just a question of whether we'll have enough money to do that. So shareholders are supportive. We'll see if the market's supportive. And, we've got two great things to follow up on from this year. Hole 18 was a zinger. Again, the 200 meter wide interval, again, with two pockets of 42 and 21 meters within it, down below 300 meters. Super exciting. And we found this, don't forget about this new lens we found in phase 1, which is just, very close, very just south of the main zone, which needs to be followed up with. And so, we think we think all the mineralization today has been in the hang wall, that this would be in the footwall. And so not only would it increase the resource, which is what we're looking for, but also the people that understand is that we'd be increasing the lateral width, so that ultimately in a mining scenario, it just gives more credence to sort of open pit, and that it's going to reduce the waste and strip ratio. So, we're not there yet, but that's, we have that in mind as we're planning some of these drill holes.
Okay, so focus, and obviously not sitting around waiting for the market to do the heavy lifting for you by the sounds of it. Well, John, let's stay in touch. We'll see what the assays come back with, and then we'll know more.
Terrific.